One afternoon, I decided to do something simple, something that felt like us. I cooked a full meal, every dish prepared with the thought of celebrating her progress, her passion. But just as I was setting the table, Willow looked at me apologetically and said her art teacher had invited her out to dinner, a Western restaurant. I hesitated. He's still a man. Willow, isn't it strange to go out so late? She brushed it off with a soft laugh, picking up a shrimp I'd made as though nothing weighed on her heart. You're overthinking. He's just my teacher. That's all. Honey, this is delicious. Honestly, your cooking tastes even better than the restaurant's. Then she leaned close, pressed a quick kiss to my cheek, and promised, How about this? When I get back, we'll celebrate, just the two of us. Before I could answer, she slipped on her shoes and disappeared out the door. So I waited, at first with a smile. Then, as the food grew cold, I reheated the dishes. As the wine dwindled, I poured another glass. And as the night deepened, I found myself sitting alone at that table, the warmth I prepared fading into silence. That night, I opened another bottle, telling myself she'd walk through the door any minute. But the hours dragged on, and Willow never came back. By morning, when she finally returned, moving slowly as if nothing had happened, I couldn't hold it in. My eyes, bruised from a sleepless night, fixed on her. Where were you last night? She startled, hand pressing against her chest before she answered lightly. I had a few drinks with my teacher, got tipsy, then ran into a friend. I just stayed at her place. A friend? I pressed. What friend? She brushed it off, claiming it was someone she'd met at an art exhibition, her tone sharp. Come on, it was just one night. Why are you interrogating me like a criminal? And with that, she turned toward the bathroom, tossing the excuse over her shoulder. But then her eyes caught the table, still full of the meal I'd made. She blinked in surprise. Why didn't you eat? I held her gaze. Didn't you say we'd celebrate when you came back? She frowned as if trying to recall, then let out a little laugh. Ah, did I? I must have forgotten. Never mind. It's nothing important anyway. Just throw it out. We'll eat out later. And that's when I realized Willow wasn't the same woman I once knew. She used to be simple, careful, cherishing even the smallest things. I still remember high school, when I'd buy her breakfast too big for her to finish. She would hide the leftovers in her drawer, unwilling to waste a bite. Once, a steamed bun fell to the dusty floor, and while others wanted to toss it, she picked it up quietly and ate it. That was a girl who never had enough growing up, the girl who treated food like treasure. Even after we married, when life improved, she carried that habit with her, never leaving a grain of rice behind, reminding me, you work so hard for us. How could I ever be picky? But somewhere along the way, that Willow disappeared. Now, when we ate out, she refused to pack leftovers, said it was embarrassing. She filled our fridge with food, only to throw it out untouched. She bought luxury bags, wore them once, then handed them away. High-end clothes sat in the closet until mold claimed them. And whenever I reminded her, she only smiled faintly and said, the past was different. We had nothing then. Now we have money. Why bother saving? Her eyes looked the same, but the woman behind them felt like a stranger. And then there was Makoto. She messaged me, saying she was off on a sketching trip. 3 whole days, just the two of them. She didn't ask. She simply informed me. By the time I got home from work, she was already gone. Calls unanswered. Messages left hanging. It was as if she had vanished from my world. 3 days later, she walked back through the door, casual as ever, as if nothing had happened. But before I could speak, she started telling me about it herself. How Makoto was different in private. Shy, almost endearing. How much she'd learned from him. How it happened to be his birthday, and she'd bought him a cake. How, in a moment of bad timing, she'd even sent him out to buy pads when her period came unexpectedly. She laughed as she told me the cashier mistook him for her boyfriend, teasing, "This boyfriend is worth keeping." Then she looked at me with a bright smile and said, "Honey, why don't we invite Makoto over for dinner? I really want to thank him." That's when something inside me snapped. Enough! The words tore out before I could stop them. You're my wife, and yet you spend nights with another man, disappear for days, and then come home to tell me every detail as if I should celebrate it with you. Willow, don't you think you've gone too far? She froze, stunned, then frowned. George, what's happened to you? What do you mean? I shot back. You used to respect me. But now? You become controlling. Yes, I'm your wife, but I'm also myself. I have the right to live freely, to interact with others. Isn't that my choice? Her words cut deep. She thought I didn't trust her. So you think I'm going to cheat? Is that what you see when you look at me? The more she spoke, the more her anger grew, until finally she grabbed our wedding photo, slammed it to the ground, and shouted, "A filthy heart sees filth in everything." The door slammed behind her, leaving only silence and shards of glass on the floor. I stood there, staring at our broken wedding picture, my chest heavy with grief. Hours later, she returned, not with regret, not with softness. She simply showered, crawled into bed, and scrolled her phone, as though nothing had ever happened. What kind of married couple clings to anger overnight? That's what I told myself as I sighed and reached for her hand. I was too impulsive this morning. Don't take it to heart. Willow stayed quiet for a while, her face unreadable. Then, slowly, her expression softened. It's okay. Actually, it was partly my fault, too. She slipped her arms around me, whispering an apology against my chest. Honey, I'm sorry. I didn't think about your feelings. But you should speak nicely, too. If you yell at me, of course I'll get angry. I held her, patting her back with a helpless smile. All right. I know I was wrong. And just like that, the storm passed. She smiled again, letting go of the day's bitterness. That night, for the first time in a long while, we were close. I thought we had mended the cracks. But peace never lasted long with Willow. A few days later, I carried a plate of freshly cut fruit to her studio, wanting to surprise her. But the moment I stepped inside, I froze. On the canvas before her was a portrait, detailed, raw, alive. What are you painting? I asked, though I already knew. A portrait, she answered casually, dabbing her brush. I've never tried a real person before, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Her words cut deep. I remembered what she once told me when we were young, how portraits felt sacred to her, how she'd only draw someone she loved enough. Back then I teased her, so you don't love me enough yet? She had blushed, whispering, when we get married, I'll paint you, one portrait every day, until our bedroom is full. Yet years of marriage had passed, and she had never once painted me. And now, her first real portrait was of him, of Makoto, a nude. Rage erupted. Willow, are you out of your mind? She looked up, startled. What's wrong? Why are you losing your temper for no reason? You painted a nude portrait of Makoto. It's just art, she snapped back, tapping the brush against his painted abs, adding a careless detail. Nudes are normal in fine arts. You're just too sheltered. What's the big deal? Why him of all people? Because he's my teacher. I respect him. That's why. Isn't that allowed? Her calm dismissal shattered me. I knocked the canvas to the floor. No more portraits of Makoto. I'll find you another teacher. You cut ties with him completely, or we're finished. Her face twisted in fury. She snatched the fallen painting as though it were treasure, glaring at me as if I were the enemy. You don't understand anything. Honestly, I don't even know why I ever fell for someone like you. And with that, she stormed out. No clothes, no belongings, just a painting. For a week she vanished without a trace, unreachable, as though she'd evaporated from the earth. And when she finally came back, she had done as I demanded. Changed her teacher, cut contact with Makoto, but something inside her had hardened. She gave me silence. She refused my meals. She ignored my words. At night, she turned her back to me. For days, the only responses I got were, "Oh, and M.M." Half a month passed in this quiet war. The morning I left for a business trip, she still wouldn't look at me. I hugged her, and she pushed me away. I sighed, defeated. When I come back, I'll bring you that perfume you love. Stay safe, okay? And I left, not knowing the storm waiting for me. When I returned days later, eager to surprise her, the sight that met me ripped the air from my lungs. The studio door hung open. Inside, Willow, completely bare, posing on a stool as Makoto painted her nude. My blood boiled. I burst in, voice shaking with fury. "What the hell are you doing?" Willow jumped, fumbling for her clothes. "I'm just modeling for Makoto. Don't misunderstand. This is art." Makoto looked at me calmly, adding, "Yes, Mr. Wang, surely you can understand." Understand? This was no art. This was betrayal dressed in the language of art. My fist flew before I even thought, slamming into Makoto's face. He crashed to the floor, dazed. Willow rushed to shield him, desperation flashing in her eyes. "George, stop. Have you lost your mind?" I tried to push past her, but she clung to him, throwing herself over his body as though I were the villain breaking apart star-crossed lovers. "You're protecting him? Against me?" My voice broke with bitterness. "So what if I am?" she spat, glaring at me. "George, if you dare touch Makoto again, I'll divorce you." There it was. My wife, choosing another man, threatening divorce for his sake. My chest went numb. My voice was hollow. "Since you want divorce so badly, let's do it." That same day, I threw them both out, and I filed the papers. At our final parting, Willow looked at me without warmth. "George, I do appreciate everything you've done for me, but I can't live with a husband who's petty and can't tell right from wrong. You're simply not the man for me." And just like that, she was gone. Maybe we were a mistake from the start. Her words lingered in the air like smoke. Petty, blind, wrong. I could only laugh bitterly. Yes, maybe it really was a mistake, right from the very beginning. Back to the present, back to that reunion table. Willow set down her wine glass, her hand retreating as if she had suddenly woken from a dream. The class monitor, sensing the tension, jumped in with a smile. Yes, Willow's right. Look at me. I forgot myself. It's been too long. George, my fault." I gave a small smile and shook my head. "It's fine. Really. I can still drink a little beer." Willow stayed silent beside me, her presence heavy but voiceless. Then David spoke up, casually asking about my wife. "Oh, right. George, why didn't Anna come?" I answered easily. "The maternity nanny had the day off, so she's at home with my mom taking care of the baby." The moment that name left my lips, Anna, Willow's head snapped toward me. Confusion flickered in her eyes. "Anna." David chuckled, filling in the silence. "Ah, maybe you don't know yet. George is married now." And in that instant, Willow froze. The glass slipped slightly in her hand. It took her a long time before she managed to smile. "Why so sudden?" "Not sudden," I said calmly. "I've been married for 2 years. Our baby just turned 1 month old." The rest of the gathering blurred by. Willow sat in silence, sipping her drink as though lost in another time. When it was finally over, she stopped me on my way out. "Have you been doing well these past few years?" "Not bad." "And you and Anna, how did you meet?" "A blind date." She let out a soft breath, almost relieved. "Makes sense. Once you hit a certain age, even if you don't like it, you still have to settle down." I shook my head lightly. "You're wrong. I didn't settle. I really like my wife." Willow froze again, her smile faltering. "I didn't wait for her to recover. If there's nothing else, I'll be going." I slid into my car and started the engine. She ran up, knocking on the window. "George, let's talk." "Talk? About what?" "About how she left me for Makoto, only to be abandoned herself within 2 years. Or about how she wanted to crawl back now, hoping to dig through the ashes of what we once had." I looked at her with calm finality. "I don't think we have anything to talk about." Her voice cracked, urgent. "George, we had 7 years together. Can you really just let it all go?" "What else can I do?" I said, rolling the window up slowly. "I don't have a hobby of collecting trash." When I got home, Anna was waiting for me. She greeted me with a gentle smile, helping me slip off my coat. "Welcome back. I sent Mom to bed first." The baby's still fussing. I kissed her forehead. You've worked hard. Then I walked into the room, where our little boy lit up the moment he saw me. His giggles filled the air. I pinched his cheek, teasing. So you're the one keeping Mommy awake, huh? Anna's eyes softened. Lucas must have missed you. Just now he was whining, but look, he can't stop smiling at you. I scooped him into my arms, rocking him gently until his breathing slowed and he drifted to sleep. Then Anna brought me a bowl of fish soup she had kept warm. We sat at the dining table, sipping slowly, talking about nothing and everything. She told me about stumbling into a buy-one-get-one deal at the supermarket. I told her about how my coworkers teased me, calling Anna's packed lunch the happiest lunchbox in the world. Small, ordinary things, but when shared with someone you love, they became treasures. With Willow, it had never been like this. She used to complain I was too wordy, too childish. But looking back, those were just excuses. Because when someone loves you, they'll never think your voice is noise, even if you ramble about groceries. To them, even your silliest words are endearing. Anna looked at me then, eyes shining. George, let's go on a date tomorrow. Just the two of us. Since Lucas was born, we haven't had time together. Mom already said she'll take care of him for the day. She was right. It had been far too long since we'd had our own little world. I ruffled her hair, smiling. Okay. The next day, we dressed up and went out together. We wandered through shops, hands brushing, laughter coming easily. Later, we chose a restaurant across the street. But the moment we stepped inside, my smile faltered. There, in the corner, sat Willow. Her voice was raised on the phone, anger spilling out. What do you mean you don't care anymore, Makoto? This isn't what we agreed. Don't give me that nonsense. You made plenty of money off my exhibition. And now you want to pull out this fast? Aren't you afraid of karma? She slammed her phone down, only to glance up and freeze at the sight of me walking in with Anna. I didn't acknowledge her. Instead, I led Anna to a table, pulling out a chair for her. What do you want to eat? I asked. She smiled, handing me the menu. Anything's fine. You choose. I chuckled softly. All right. She flipped through the pages, thoughtful. Let's get the braised eggplant, the spicy shredded potatoes, 2 fresh juices. And for the main dish, how about the seafood pot? You love shrimp. Every dish she picked was something I loved. After ordering, she carefully rinsed the bowls and chopsticks for me, her hands moving with quiet tenderness. And across the room, I could feel Willow stare, heavy and hollow. Anna leaned in, her smile soft, her eyes narrowing with affection. George, doesn't this feel just like when we first started dating? Back then, we'd eat out for no reason at all, just because it felt good to watch each other enjoy a meal. Do you remember? The day you proposed, we were eating out then too. You hid the ring in a teacup and kept sneaking glances at me, waiting for me to notice. But I didn't. It wasn't until the table next to us pointed it out. I laughed at the memory, shaking my head. I really made a fool of myself. One guy even said I looked like the dumbest man alive, not even knowing how to propose properly. Anna chuckled, her hand finding mine. But that's exactly what I loved about you. I thought, George is so handsome. If I could marry him, I'd be the luckiest woman in the world. Her voice carried a teasing lilt, but beneath it was warmth, love, brimming and undeniable. From across the room, Willow sat alone. Her jaw tightened, fingers curling into her palm, unable to hide the storm brewing inside her. Time really flies, Anna said, eyes glistening. In the blink of an eye, we already have a child. Yes, time does fly, I replied, my chest tightening with something tender, something certain. She smiled. I hope it can always be like this. It will, I promised. Even when we're old and Lucas is grown, we'll still hold hands and eat out together. Just then, the owner arrived with steaming dishes, warmth spilling across our table like a blessing. The clatter and chatter of the restaurant blurred into the background. For that moment, Anna and I saw no one else, only each other. But peace never lasts long. Willow rose from her seat and hurried over, her smile strained, her face betraying the weight she carried. George, what a coincidence. Without waiting, She slid into the seat across from us, forcing herself into our world like she still belonged. Anna blinked, startled. "And you are?" Willow's gaze flicked to me, sly, deliberate. "Oh, forgive me. I'm George's friend." Anna, ever gracious, poured her a cup of tea. What a coincidence, then. My voice turned sharp. "What are you doing here?" But Willow ignored me, locking onto Anna instead. Her grip was too tight, her smile too sweet. "You must be George's wife. You're really beautiful." Anna tried to pull her hand free, sensing the tension, but Willow clung harder, leaving faint red marks. And then her words turned to daggers. "Prettier than George's ex-wife. Do you mean he never told you? About me?" Anna's expression flickered with confusion, and that's when Willow smiled, a cool, twisted smile, and revealed the truth. "I am his ex-wife." The air around us froze. Anna's voice didn't waver. Her smile was steady, her words sharper than any blade Willow could throw. "And as for everything you said George once did for you, no, he never did those things for me. But that's because I'm not in the art world at all. As for canceling work just to eat a meal, I'd like to think I'm rational enough not to make such an unreasonable demand. You said all this just to warn me away from him. But let me be clear, I won't. We are legally married. We have a child together. And I believe my husband carries no lingering feelings for his ex-wife. I love him, and he loves me too." Her calm confidence stripped the smugness right off Willow's face. That superior smile curdled, her expression souring. "That's impossible," she snapped, panic seeping through. "George loves me. You're the one who clung to him, the one who interfered. Otherwise, why would he ever reject me?" I couldn't hold back anymore. "Willow, do you even hear yourself? You talk about love, but when we were married, weren't you the one sneaking around with Makoto? You never said you loved me then." I kept quiet about the past, but now you're the one throwing away every shred of dignity. Aren't you ashamed? Her face twisted, flustered, and no, that's not it. But the damage was already done. Around us, the restaurant buzzed with whispers. Curious diners, eager for gossip, leaned in like it was a play staged for them. A few students muttered under their breath, loud enough for her to hear. I thought it was a wife putting the mistress in her place. Turns out it's a cheating ex-wife making a scene. What a clown. Yeah, she almost had me fooled. I thought she was a victim. Didn't expect she was trash all along. The words cut deeper than anything I could have said. Willow's face drained of color, her lips trembling with rage. Still, she forced one last attempt. "George, I know you still have feelings for me. You were just bitter I chose Makoto back then. Or maybe she's holding you down with the child. I can give you a child, too. I can give birth for you, too." I couldn't stomach another word. I grabbed the water glass and threw it in her face. The splash silenced the room. Willow stood there dripping, stunned, humiliated. I looked at her with nothing but contempt. "This is a public place. Don't embarrass yourself further." Then I rose, took Anna's hand in mine, and walked out, leaving Willow behind, soaked and seething. The cameras flashed, and the reporter leaned in. "Miss Willow, we've heard this masterpiece of yours took 2 years to complete. Now that someone's offering a fortune for it, why refuse? Does this painting hold some special meaning to you?" Willow's smile was faint, almost fragile. Her voice carried that delicate tremor of vulnerability. "It does. This painting holds my love, my longing for someone. We were young when we met, and we fell in love. But unfortunately, it seems he doesn't love me anymore." The reporter pressed on. "Rumor has it, the man you speak of might be your ex-husband. If that's true, was a divorce because he cheated?" Willow sighed, lowering her eyes before lifting them back to the camera with a soft, aching smile. "Please, don't speculate too much. I only wanted to express my feelings through art. I don't dare think beyond that. He is remarried now. I don't want to disturb his life. It's better to leave him a little dignity." And with that, the stage was set. Overnight, the internet exploded. Comment sections burned with sympathy and outrage. Every word a dagger pointed at me and Anna. "Oh my God, shocking gossip. I thought a divorce was just love fading. Who knew it was because the man cheated? Shameless. She treats him so kindly, and even now she refuses to name him, just to leave him dignity. What a saint. Scumbag. Cheated. Remarried. Don't tell me his new wife was a mistress. One after another, voices rose. Some called me disgusting, some called Anna worse. In a single breath, Willow had painted herself the victim and turned the world against us. My phone rang. It was David. His voice came sharp through the line. George, did you see the video? Yeah, I answered quietly. I saw it. What the hell, man? This isn't the Willow we knew. Back in college, we all looked after her. Even after you split, we checked in on her. And back then, she swore it was just love that ran its course. Now she's out here slandering you? If I hadn't heard the truth from Lewis, even I would have believed her. She's got no shame at all. George, if it comes to it, we'll go online, make a video, testify for you. David, thank you. But right now, I can't speak out myself. I divorce her clean, no proof of her cheating. Even if you testify, people chasing drama will just call it lies, excuses. He hesitated, anger simmering. So what then? You just sit back and take the blame? Of course not. Don't worry, I'll handle this. Tell the others not to worry about me. I've got a plan. David didn't buy it. Not fully. We've been friends too long. George, don't pretend you're fine when you're not. If you can't hold it together, we'll figure this out together. I'm serious, I told him. Trust me. Reluctantly, he agreed. All right, but deal with it quick. And if things get ugly, call me. The moment I hung up, I headed straight for the restaurant where Anna and I had once gone on a date. The place Willow had barged in and made a scene. Boss, your security cameras, are they working? I asked, desperate. The owner frowned. What do you need them for? On June 20th, my wife and I were here. A woman came in causing trouble. I need that footage. It's important. I'll pay for it. Recognition flickered in his eyes. Ah, so that woman on the trending news. No wonder she looked familiar. Young man, I'd help you if I could. But that week, the cameras were broken. They've only just been fixed. The words sank heavy in my chest. No proof. No way out. Just as I thought the battle was lost, a voice piped up behind me. Hey, I heard you asking about the footage, a college girl said. She leaned closer, excitement dancing in her eyes. I was here that day, and I recorded the whole thing on my phone. Want to see? Hope lit me up like fire. Really? Totally real, she grinned, unlocking her phone. The video played, crystal clear, from beginning to end. Not a second missing. It was perfect. I asked to pay, but she only laughed with her friend. Just buy us milk tea. That's enough. Now we get to watch the drama unfold again. With the video in hand, I wasted no time. I uploaded it online. And then, the storm flipped. Comments poured in like wildfire. Oh my God! Plot twist of the year. Willow cheated, then framed her ex-husband. Innocent the whole time. Morally bankrupt. Shameless. And this person still gets to hold art exhibitions? What a joke. Overnight, Willow's reputation collapsed. Exhibitions canceled. Sponsors gone. Blacklisted from the art world she clung to. Panicked, she reached out, her voice trembling through the phone. George, I was wrong. I lost my mind back then. Please forgive me. All right? Let's settle this privately. I'm begging you. But I knew the truth. This wasn't remorse. This was desperation. First she cheated. Then, dumped by her boy toy, she came crawling back. Even knowing I was remarried, she still flaunted herself in front of Anna. And now, with nothing left, she was begging. When I finally scolded her, she didn't crumble. She lashed out. Humiliated, she struck back in the only way she knew, by twisting the truth and smearing my name. But now that the mask had fallen, and the whole world had seen her for who she really was, she came crawling back, whispering about reconciliation. I couldn't hold back the sneer in my voice. Willow, do you have no shame? The line went silent. For a moment, All I could hear was her breathing. Then, almost trembling, she clung to one last excuse. I only ended up like this because I loved you too much. I'm better than Anna in every way. I've known you longer, yet you still chose her. George, how cruel you are. Her words made me laugh, bitter, exhausted. Unbelievable. All you ever do is claim Anna is beneath you, insist I don't love you, say I chose her instead. But you never once admit your own betrayal. You repeat your lies so often that even you believe them. Stop justifying yourself. Willow, you did this, and you deserve every ounce of contempt that follows you. With that, I ended the call. The very next day, her downfall only grew darker. That so-called masterpiece she clung to, the painting she said held her deepest feelings, was exposed as plagiarism. The original artist put their graduation work online, side by side with Hayes, and the resemblance was undeniable. The internet turned savage. What little pity she had left vanished. Willow was branded a fraud, cursed across every headline, and now even faced a crushing settlement for theft. Her career? Over. Her reputation? Ashes. She became someone people recoiled from, a name no one dared to touch. And for me, peace returned. Life slowed back into something simple, steady. Anna and I raised our son, laughter filling the quiet corners of our home. After so much chaos, that quiet felt like a gift. A life I thought, at last, would continue forever.